With your weekly ITTV update and still milking this cold from Paris from more than 2 weeks ago, I'm Dave Graveline. Welcome into tomorrow. Looking for an easier way to copy your CDs onto your iPod? Into Tomorrow's Rob Almanza has been testing a new product called iLoad.
Thanks, Dave. By far, the iLoad is the best iPod-compatible product for you to use today. For example, it will copy CDs directly onto your iPod without using a computer or even an internet connection. It's that easy. After a setup of just 5 minutes, you'll be able to put your CD directly into the CD drive here on the iLoad. It will recognize the CD because it has a built-in database of 1.8 million songs. If it doesn't, what you have to do is contact iLoad or go to their website and you can download the latest update. The way you do that is here on the back, it's got many input jacks. For example, it's got an Ethernet connection, 2 USB ports, and even a headphone and mic connection. So you would have to plug in an Ethernet cable and connect it onto a network that does not require a password, and you'll be able to download the latest version or database from iLoad. After that, you simply hit go on the iLoad, and you choose if you want to copy all the CD tracks or individual tracks. It's got 2 arrows here, and you can choose to copy or skip, and once you hit go, it will copy the tracks you selected. I experienced about 5 minutes to download or copy an entire CD onto my iPod of just 14 tracks, so it was pretty fast and very easy to use. The iLoad is available right now for $299. It's a bit pricey, but it's really worth it for all the things that it can do. For example, you won't need a computer to copy all your music onto your iPod. Before using the iLoad, you have to make sure you select Manage Music manually on your iTunes, otherwise you will overwrite all your music and lose it if you don't back it up. The iLoad is very easy to use, and on the back it has an input for a USB port where you can plug in an external hard drive so you can back up all your music. While iLoad, here's Dave.
Thanks, Rob. iLoad, do you? Well, you can check out more at graveline.com. Amazingly enough, Alexander Graham Bell makes the list on This Week in Tech History. Here's Chris Graveline.
This week in 1791, John Stone patented the pile driver. I say this week we all go out and pound on some concrete to celebrate. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell sent the first clear telephone message into a nearby room to his assistant, Mr. Watson. "Mr. Watson, come here, I want you," were the first words spoken into the invention that Bell had created. And in 1923, Dr. Lee DeForest demonstrated his putting sound on motion picture film. One of the pioneers of radio in the early 1900s, DeForest came up with a snappy name for his invention. He called it phonofilm. Today, we call it a soundtrack. That's our look back at This Week in Tech History.
Thanks, Chris. This Week in Tech History, as always, is brought to you by tigerdirect.com/Dave. When you need great prices on all sorts of consumer electronics and computer equipment, do visit them at tigerdirect.com/Dave. And while you're at it, come by our website for links to all of our guests and, of course, get a peek into tomorrow. Be sure and check out our upcoming remote broadcasts as well. Next week we'll be in Orlando for the Electronic House Expo, and the week after that in Germany, Hanover, Germany to be specific, at the big CeBIT Expo. Broadcasting from there, bringing you some of the latest consumer electronics from Europe. Be sure to stay tuned into tomorrow.